Okay, let's talk about Lady Killer. Joelle Jones is probably one of my favorite comic book artists of all time. She's definitely top 3 for sure. Her artwork has so much emotion and has so much energy to them, and I just love her line work, especially like with the inks and everything. Like her black line art by itself is gorgeous, and then like we also have like the colors in here. That's great too. I know that was by is Laura Alfred. Really good. One of the big things is that I work as a graphic designer as my day job, so a lot of this stuff really does speak to me, a graphics standpoint, not just as a wannabe comic book artist. I wanted to just gush about how good her artwork is through this, because like unlike like my other videos, like right now I've really only gone through like Ultimate Spider-Man, but I've really only like talked about the story and a little bit about the artwork. I really just wanted to start just talking about art more, because like all my shorts are about art, and I don't really talk about like comics like that, or like about stories for comics and like that, because like I draw all the time. One of the cool things about Joelle Jones is just how expressive her characters are. And I'm talking about like her facial expressions that you kind of just see in here. It's just all really solid. The body language. When Josie's like walking in here to try and sell like makeup or whatever, I don't know what she's selling. With the foreshortening with the hand, this looks so good. It really sells it on like the body language slightly here. This woman just trying to keep dogs inside. I also did want to see, since I brought this up already, is that when I first got the book, I did do like a study of it, like just about 4 panels, just to try and get a good idea on how she like draws. It's not perfect. I wouldn't even say it's that great. I did do that, and I still probably gonna do that in the future, just trying to like match her style a little bit more. Because even some of these other panels that we have here is like her pulling her face and whatnot. It has like that cartoonist vibe to it, but it's still very retro. I haven't seen anything else really like this, because even like the expression here from her face and her body, even like here with the dog running, then you got the speed lines coming in. And like another crazy thing, what's really different about this book is like how even outside of the art, just like the design elements of like the panels there, the lines are really thick. I haven't really seen another comic have like these thick of lines before. Like I know other comics have definitely done that. That can't be just this thing. I just haven't seen other books in my collection haven't really done this. And if they have done it, I just haven't noticed, because I haven't gone back and read some of the older stuff that I got. In the colors, because we got a lot of color going on here, most of it is definitely flat. There is no like gradient or like shading or anything. I know later on she ends up breaking that rule, and once we get to it, I'll talk about it. But I haven't seen a comic where you're doing like colors and it just be flat with the striking blacks and whatnot. But it really works here. The colorist ends up selling this too, because like, okay, Josie's about to murder her. So it's like, okay, we have like red for like action or violence. The strong blacked out silhouette here is really cool too. And then you have like these really powerful action sequence of her just breaking her wrist with a hammer. Really sells it. And these camera angles are great. Also, like this panel with how intense everything is. That's a good word, is like intense. Her kicking Josie off of her. Yeah, the comic itself is pretty violent, so I'm not gonna be able to show like everything in here. Another thing I want to talk about is like the backgrounds in here, because like I've been doing a lot of urban drawing to like work on just environments, because that's just one thing I've lacked. Like I've drawn characters over and over the years. Like that's probably one of my favorite things to draw is characters. But backgrounds have always really sucked. So like if I force myself to draw backgrounds, like go urban drawing, like every month and whatnot, I'll get better, which I've gotten better. Still not on to this level, because like as a comic book artist, you got to be able to like draw everything. And when I mean everything, whatever the story requires, you got to draw it. In here, you just see how much lines that she put into like the curtains, the appliances, the like what's going on the table. A lot. That's just like just takes forever. You can only imagine how long this kind of took. Lady Killer does like take place in like the 1950s, 1960s, something like that. Can't exactly remember off the top of my head. The women's fashion there and there is like these dresses kind of flare out and everything. So they're very dynamic and they have a really great shape to them. And so because of that, you're able to kind of frame everything, because like when you're doing a layout for a comic, right, you're wanting to bounce people's vision to like the next panel. Everything kind of is meant to guide your eye to the next panel. Like Josie's looking down here, so it's coming down from a diagonal, so it's gonna go like bam here, and then since the phone is drawn here, your eye follows here, goes up here, looks at her, and then because of the dress, the skirt of the dress and everything, it'll point you down here to where like Josie's having that, saying, dinner's ready, just to sell onto the next page. Because of even like the fashion element and whatnot, I think it's just able to really frame a page layout really well. And one of the other elements, like this is like graphic design elements, is that there's a little ink splattering on like all the pages, and it'll be even outside of the panels themselves. And I really enjoy that a lot too. One of the really cool ink techniques is that you have the different rain, and then like the rain itself is blacked out. That is another thing that comic artists ends up doing, like panels that have like a lot of black to it, because one, it looks really nice, and then two, it saves time on detail, because like, man, dude, you got a lot of drawing, you're trying to hit deadlines. And another really good thing that Joelle Jones is really good at drawing is vehicles. Like I said, I've been taking up urban drawing and everything, and dude, drawing cars suck. Like, I like drawing cars, but like I'm not that great at them. Gotta draw more cars, I guess. You end up seeing a lot of the foreshortening on the car, and dude, older cars just look so much cooler than like newer stuff. Has style to it. And one of the other things like also about this book is that the graphic design elements, blood splatter, and then like the icon thing for the chapter, I like how that's broken up too, and like the different texture that they have going on here. And also like you have really cool texture stuff, like her ripped stocking right here, that's really cool. And Joelle Jones is like, her page layouts are great. Joelle Jones, like, she knows how to just give really dynamic shadows with just ink, which is crazy. And like here, good expression on just the closed eyes. She's upset. And then we get into this really cool car chase, and dude, I'm drawing cars in my comic and whatnot, and I am having a very difficult time getting that energy where it doesn't make, like, I can't really show you guys what I'm working on right now, but like, it does not have the same energy. It just like, it looks like the car is just sitting there, but she's able to really sell movement in a vehicle very well. It's like, it's the speed lines, you got the heavy blacks, like guiding the, like it looks like it's in movement, some of these really strong angles, and has really good energy to it. And likewise, again, Joelle Jones, really good splash pages. Like the black hood of the car, it's curved, so it brings our eye here, brings us down, like even with the gun, it's pointed at Josie, so your eye looks at the Josie's face, goes down the body and whatnot. The skirt of the dress poofs out, so it guides our eye even more with the steering wheel and Josie's legs, and then bam, you're here. So it's really good framing. And then another really cool element here is that since Josie's like being attacked and whatnot, like the petticoats off of her dress, like the closer they are, the thicker the lines are, and then the further you go back, the thinner it gets. It's a really good way of showing foreshortening and like what's closer to you. And then of course we really go back into another card. So this is the panel, this is the page I wanted to talk about, like with the coloring, is that for most of the comic it has been flat colors. Here, this is definitely a gradient coming in on this panel, and this panel right here, it definitely shows up here. So they definitely broke that rule. So sometimes even if, it looks like it's one thing, an artist still will even break their own rules. And like I said earlier, Joelle Jones, her characters are very, very expressive. They're just like a nosy neighbor. There's so much energy in this panel, and then this panel, like all of that is just like selling different sort of emotions, and then drawing characters together where it's like seamless. A lot of energy here. Fills up the whole entire panel, and the camera angles for this is done very well too. Of course, we're going back to like car chasing with the speed lines. It's stuff like this when you're looking at it and then you're just like really studying it to see like, okay, this artist is doing this, I need to bring those elements into my own work. How is she doing that? It's like even the action scenes, I know we've gone over a little bit. Blacked out guy, a woman getting kicked through the door, flying over, like able to really bend the body Josie's running in, you got the action lines coming in. Everything is pushed as much as they can, and then like giving you different camera angles so you get to see things from different perspectives. And then the colorists also, for these really more intense action sequences, they give it the red, like a red tone, because like when you're angry you see red and you're ready to, like, you know, fight, throw down. That's really interesting. And then the crashing through things, like through this window or the screen with the gun getting thrown in there, the gun coming off the panels, like Josie getting thrown into like what seems to be like some sort of like bush thing. Another really crazy like page layout thing is just like, I can't believe she drew a whole entire layout of a house from this angle. I would have never thought about doing that. I think she might have used like a reference in like The Sims to get something like this. I'm not even sure if I would have even attempted something like that. It looks to be like a lot of work to draw from that angle. Good job, really, I'm impressed. One thing that I wanted to do is talk about the art gallery that's in Lady Killer, is that they did like a whole bunch of like promotional images for it. All these images that you're kind of seeing, they look like old retro 1950s, 1960s ads. Back in the day, usually you had an illustrator draw like pictures and whatnot. They might have had a model, who knows. I wouldn't be able to really tell you, but they did Josie in these ads, so it also has that same look and feel to it, and it's just really cool. She really like sells it and gives it the like that 1950s, 1960s look to it for the promotional images, and as a graphic designer, I really appreciate that. They might have been done in like watercolor, wash, I'm not really sure. It's one of those art styles that I'd like, when I see it on like Pinterest or something, I'm going like, oh, that's cool. One of these days I really need to go study it. I just have not had the time to really do that. We also get a good look at Joelle Jones's covers that I think they would have been for each of the issues. It's very graphic designing and all about that. Again, we have like one of those images that would have been shown in like 1950s, 1960s. She really killed the style while still making it somewhat modern. Another strong cover splash page, because like this one, for instance, we really get a good sense of how she uses black here. So like under here, for any of these really sharp shadows, or like it looks like this guy is not having a good time, he's blacked out. There's a little bit of highlights on it where it's like still gray, so that's really cool. Another like painterly 1950s, 1960s sort of illustration. It's definitely digital from what I can tell. But we also get one page where it just shows Joelle Jones' ink work, which is just so great. I love it. We do get a couple interviews with Joelle Jones. I don't know too much about it because like my mom would have talked about this like back in the day, is that they used to make like paper dolls where girls would cut them out and then be able to do that with clothing and then change it out and then, you know, play with them. Those used to be like a magazine that's also like a 1950s, 1960s sort of deal. Might have gone on to this like 70s maybe, but she had a lot of that growing up. And then she even did her own like wallpaper and stuff that you kind of see throughout the book as well. And I'm like, man, that's just a lot. One last thing that I want to talk about is that this panel right here, I wouldn't say panel, this was a panel in the book, but I must have missed it while flipping through, is that I drew the exact same reference that Joelle Jones used. Like I was on Pinterest and I was like, man, that's the same. Like I drew the reference herself, but it looks like Joelle Jones just took it to draw like Josie, which is what you're really supposed to do for like when it's coming down the reference. I just did this for practice. So it's really cool to see like, oh wow, this artist that I really enjoy, that's a professional and, you know, in the industry, also used the same reference that I used. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, I really enjoyed Lady Killer a whole lot because purely off just the artwork. It's so good. If you're just wanting to see really good artwork, I highly recommend it. So anyway guys, I'm Dane, and I will see you guys next time, and hopefully we can do more videos like this if y'all are interested in.